when we come to this feast day, when we honor the Blessed Mother as Queen and Mother, it's a reminder, of how we're meant to first kind of come before the Lord. It's reminded this is what we first do when we come into Mass, right? We come before the Lord. He is Lord. He is King. And so I always like this thing, when we come to Mass, we come into his court, into the court of the King, right? I remember my first experience when I saw this as a kid that informed me. Was Aladdin, I think. When the Prince Ali does that whole formal thing to go to the palace of the Sultan in that film. It's this huge, big thing. It's ideas of coming in a formal process, right? And it's always been this understanding, especially when you look at the ancient world and the history, the relationship between King and Queen Mother was so integral. And this is where much informs our relationship in the Church to the Blessed Mother. The idea that the Queen Mother can kind of petition, has a special hold over the King's heart, right? If there's something going on, it's like, okay, son, can you listen to this poor person's plea, please? I brought him to the front of the line. There's little things where there's a relationship, and I'm sure, hopefully we at least understand that to some degree. There's some ways when our mother could soothe our Father's heart in some ways that no one else could, And so when we come considering all these things, especially that it's a reminder, especially in light of our gospel, looking at this reflection on commandments on the law. It's a reminder that, right, that everything that we say and do should be in line with divine law. God is Lord. He gives us commandments, things that we must obey. Right? We see this in John's gospel, right? A new this is my new commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. And in here, what he's doing, he's basically kind of taking the 10 Commandments and he's boiling them, he's summarizing them into 2. Because if we truly, and rather than going, thou shalt not, you shall not take the Lord's name in vain, you shall not steal, I think he understands human psychology. We respond better to you shall, to thou shalt not. If you're told, don't do that, what's our first instinct? Well, why not? Right? There's curiosity, right? Right? Let's be honest with ourselves. If I told you, see there's a fire alarm over there by the door, don't pull the fire alarm. Part of you's like, you're going to be thinking about, why not? Right? Some of you might have a better self-restraint than others. But if we understand human psychology, that's the case. And so he basically takes these negative prescriptions and he puts them into a positive. You shall. This is what you shall do. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. That covers those commandments in the 10 that cover our relationship with God. Right? You shall love the Lord your God with everything you have, your whole being. That's the one, too, that I always encourage people, like if you're struggling to bring somebody to confession, if you say with that one, it's like, have I loved the Lord? Can I be honest and say, have I loved the Lord with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my mind? Oh, I can bring that to, oh, no. That's something I can always honestly say, I haven't perfected that yet. I can always bring that honestly. There's always something. And to be honest, if we say, yes, I have, let's reflect on pride. And then the second, right? You shall love your neighbor as yourself. It covers all those other commandments that deal with other human beings. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Which brings the question, how do we treat ourselves? What do we think about ourselves? Do we love ourselves as Christ loves us? Pairing up with that in John's Gospel, love one another as I have loved you. Have I allowed him to love me the way he wants to? It invites us to remember, even though he is Lord, he is King of kings, Lord of lords, ruler of everything, creator of all that is, holds everything under his command. He loves me. He knows me. He wants a relationship with me. He is the Lord that is accessible and knowable, not controllable. Right? That's the difference between, this is what shook the world of his day, right? This is why we don't realize how groundbreaking also in the ancient world this was. And even to today. But remember, these are commandments as well, right? And so an invitation for us to say, who rules our lives? And to whom do we orient our decisions? To whom do we let control and take ownership of our daily lives and the decisions we make? Even to the very point of the breakfast I'm about to bake myself, how is this conform with, I shall love the Lord your God with your whole mind, heart, soul, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Am I choosing the healthy options that are going to allow me to take care of what God has given me, to give me the energy to love the Lord as I need to love others as myself, Something as simple as that, it invites a greater holistic reflection and care and invitation. And in the end, the Lord has given us, as our help, his Queen Mother, when we're struggling to present ourselves before the Lord. When we don't feel worthy, when we don't feel, it feels difficult to approach him. Sometimes he can feel so far away because he's God, he's Lord. The Queen Mother says, come here. Come closer. He's not that scary. Come on. It's like, my son, listen to your child. So as we reflect on all that today, let us also unite our prayers today with our Holy Father, Pope Leo, praying for, again, to end the conflicts in our world, the ones that make the news, and especially the ones that don't. The ones, especially the conflicts around the world where people are suffering without us knowing. People are hurting. And it's an invitation for us in our own lives to consider, are there ways in which I'm contributing to sowing division to some of this, that invites us to consider the things in which we have active participation and to have good reflection on. So let us unite our prayer today, our fasting, with our Holy Father's intentions, with that of the whole Church, praying for all those innocents that are caught up in conflict, praying for those who are in authority so that ultimately their authority, they understand that their authority has only, and they can only comes from God above. And that ultimately their decisions should be formed by the Lord of Lords, by the King of Kings. So that the divine law and the human law become one and the same, so that the Lord's love may reign in all of our nations.